So I ended up with this little it's a funny story how I ended up with it, but I'd actually bought a truck for my daughter-in-law's sister, who's a groomer, and she start kind of like as a silent investor. And then she went through a divorce, and I ended up with two trucks and
Mm.
no groomers.
No.
So I just started marketing it on the side, and next thing we're doing, I don't know, I got 4 trucks now, and last month we did almost 500 dogs. So it's starting
Wow.
to grow into this little business on top of everything else I'm doing. So it's been but it's a little diamond in the rough. So I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna start paying it a little bit more attention to it. Lisa,
Huh? Yeah.
she built the website, and we still work together. But I follow what you do online, and you look like you've
Mhm.
automated so much stuff, and I'm so behind on anything as
Yeah.
relates to automation for local search. So I think I need
Mhm.
some help here. And then don't forget, I have my technology company, and we still have, I think we have over 5 million SMBs on our platform right now.
Right.
It's 300, 400, probably 400 active agencies, and we don't offer them any type of SEO tool other than our listing syndication and our monitoring. So kind of
Hmm.
just wanted to explore what you were doing and see if there was some sort of fit here.
So you know that a lot of these SEO tools or AI tools or chatbots or whatever
Yeah,
have in the last couple months moved into an agent capacity. And
that, that's what I
if
was thinking.
if these agents have access to the
Mhm.
actual EEAT, the actual photos and videos of the trucks, of the groomers, of the pets, of the
Yeah.
owners, of driving around, of like if and it can be in a Google Photos or Google Drive or Dropbox. If it's somewhere,
Mhm.
it can be in a CRM that has an API
Mhm.
connection where it can log into the thing to grab it. If it has that and it has a clear SOP on what to do with it, then
Yeah.
it can do what an agency would do, what a
Mhm.
competent agency would do, which is update the Google business profile, make social media posts, run ads, update the
Yeah.
website, all of that. And when we started using these agents, when they first became available 6 months ago, I was pleasantly surprised
Yeah.
because it
Okay.
could do like what a $3 an hour VA from the
Yeah.
Philippines or Pakistan could do. But it, if you tried to give it an SOP that had 3 or 4 linked tasks, it would just give up or get confused or hallucinate or make a mistake or just like a $3
Mhm.
an hour VA. So we started to orchestrate them. And this is
Mhm.
where you have different versions of orchestration models that are out there. But that ended up being a technical boondoggle and a waste of time, even
Mhm.
though I'm an engineer and I've always tried to build components of this over the last 20 some years. But the combination of being able to of these agents getting smarter, especially in the last month, because there's this arms race going on, and when one
Yeah.
releases one, the other like there's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
last
Yeah.
month has really just been ridiculous. These agents actually can do. I mean, they're not they can't replace me yet,
No, but
but they can do the worker level tasks.
mhm.
Like, and I made these posts, which you probably saw on Facebook. Like, because for example, we have a tool that builds personal brand websites. Because you go in, you add in the information, it spins up a WordPress site based on what you give it. I anticipated 20 years ago that this day would happen, which is why I've
Mhm.
been a madman, as you know, documenting these SOPs. And every time there's a new tool that we build or a new API
Mhm.
thing, or we have VAs or we have white label agencies that will say, oh, yeah, we can do everything. Here's our SOPs, right? And then they want us to, the white label VA folks or the agencies will say, oh, no, we know what we're doing. We've been doing it a long time. That's great, but we have an SOP and this is how it's going to be done.
Mhm.
And then they don't. Or the VA people say,
Yeah.
oh, you gotta interview all these people on Zoom. So come full circle, where we are today is the agents can do the stuff to fix Primped Pooches.
Mhm.
The agents can service these 5 million small businesses.
Yeah.
So the agents can do most of what these agencies should be doing, but they're not. And most agencies
Yeah.
are horrible, as you know, even if
Yeah.
the agency was competent. So what I think was interesting, what we could do is we could allow these small businesses to come in and
Mhm.
type in their Google business profile, their
Mhm.
URL. And then the system, the agents will go into gear and kick out go do all the research, pull the data, use the Ahrefs API, all these other ones. Some you can decide to do it in a free audit, or other ones that cost money because
Mhm.
you have to pay for tools. And then just say, hey, here's what's going on according with your business. Here's the data. And here's Google's guidelines. Here's Facebook's guidelines. Here's how to rank in ChatGPT according to their own guidelines. It's not up for argument. And here it is, Bernadette. You can do what you want with it,
You can
right?
spit
You
out a
want to go ahead
plan.
and fix it. You
Yeah.
can fix it yourself. You can go to one of our certified agencies on the platform. You can have one of our
Mhm.
agents go ahead and do it for a very, very reasonable cost. Not the whole, oh, you could talk to a salesperson, and therefore the
Yeah.
salesperson, in order for you understand the agency model only works, that model works because there's a the economics require a salesperson, and therefore they
Yeah.
have to charge a certain amount of money. But if it was just agents that was doing it, then all you're responsible for is basically the token cost,
Mhm.
which maybe is like $3, depending on what
Yeah.
you do. And
Yeah. Yeah.
then
Yeah.
maybe there's a little bit of human support because you have to sometimes talk to them or walk them through access, or there's some human
Mhm.
component. Just like
Yeah.
freaking Bank of America still has tellers inside the thing, even though you
Right.
can go
Right.
to the ATM, and some people
Yeah.
just. So I'm not saying this is like a fully automated SaaS tool, but I think it's
Mhm.
90%. I think it can be and should be 90%. Even
Mhm.
though I'm an engineer and I love automation, you cannot do full automation yet because there's still.
Some things you need to do.
And then
Yeah, I
like
get it.
just out of courtesy, like you and I are
Mhm.
talking, but I don't know if I forwarded the thing to you or not, but I already did the audit. I already looked at your stuff. If you gave us
Mhm.
access to a folder of, I don't know, maybe you have a couple girls that are driving around, or maybe they weren't the original girls, but the 4 trucks you have,
Mhm.
I could just have the agent go and do all that. And I've built a couple agents that you could talk to that could join the Zoom
Mhm.
call. They're not very good yet because, well, the analysis is good and all that, but it's just not, I mean, it's not real enough. Plus, I feel like it's disingenuous.
Right.
And
So I've been using it just to get something up on like Instagram. I've been using a tool called Marbleism. I
oh,
don't know if you're familiar with them or not,
there's so
but
many. I'm like,
it's just so I can get something up there. But it hasn't worked out as well as I thought it would.
yeah.
Right. I don't have the time. My biggest challenge is getting the data, but I was thinking of testing out putting cameras right in each of the trucks
Uh-huh.
and just making them take a picture of every
Why don't you
um
use like company cam, or reward these girls where every time they get a review, you give them $5. That's a pretty standard
yeah.
thing that other guys do, right?
I haven't heard of company cam. What is that?
Company cam's probably the best known point solution for, so you could, whatever your scheduling tool or CRM, or like, there's always some
Mhm.
operational tool probably integrates with something like a company cam. And company cam you can configure for your crew as they're out and about, visiting these homeowners, taking pictures, like doing what they're doing, and they just take pictures. I don't have ownership in company cam or what. There's other tools that also do this kind of
Mhm.
thing, but it just makes it easy for them to go out about and do their job. The people who use company cam the most are like
Mhm.
insurance adjusters and HVAC quote
Got it.
guys and car, because they have to submit quotes or to the customer, or get or the insurance
Mhm.
company will deny your claim, or that kind of thing. Your house burned down, the insurance company needs to see certain photos, and like how old the refrigerator was, and was the ceiling damaged, and they need to, so it guides the people through a process based on the industry and the SOPs that you have. And all of the guys, even like the service titans, which is like the gorilla, the Microsoft Office of the space in local services, even they're building their own versions of that to be able to help. Anyone who's talking to the customer is the one with the cell phone, and therefore the one that's going to collect the pictures and whatnot. So everyone knows this, right? And whoever's collecting that is in the best position to launch a SaaS-like thing or whatever that will basically disintermediate the agencies. Agencies are dead. They don't know that yet. It's just a matter of it for sure.
Matter
So
of time.
It's unavoidable. It's just like the self-driving. You can argue all you want as an Uber driver, but it's coming.
Yeah.
Same thing here for agencies.
So let's talk, two things to talk about. And you did send me a quick little audit, but if I wanted to get you guys to work on my Primped Pooches, how does that work? I mean, what would you need from me? What would be next?
So we need to have basic
Mhm.
access. So obviously WordPress access to come in and do the things that we do. Like if you were to hire an
Mhm.
SEO company or whatnot, like standard, that's to, you can work with Lisa. I don't care. I'm not here to try to replace anybody. In fact, I'd rather not do the work, but I do the work and I use the tools and I eat the dog food because I prove that the thing that I can still, well,
Right.
the main one is just Bernadette for me out of my own ego to
Mhm.
prove that I can still do it. And then
I hear you.
there's an ethical component on, we can't recommend something that we don't use ourselves. And
Right.
and then so there's the access things. The second half of access is to
Repress.
get, I've got a whole document that guides that goes through the whole thing, but I'm telling you anyway that the second half of access is for us to be able to prove that we did the work and that we made the phone ring and it drove more customers. So that's Google Business Profile, Search Console, Google Analytics, whatever CRM you might be using. Because if we don't like,
The CRM is proprietary. It's a proprietary CRM for dog groomers.
okay,
So I don't know
well,
that it has
great.
a lot of integration opportunities, but
But there's a web login, right? Well, then the agent can come
that's
and
all I
log in.
need. They
The whole
could.
thing with how agents have changed things in the last month or so. So
I
that's
get it.
what should happen for you. And I
Mhm.
think if you honor our what we call learn, do, teach, which we believe is
Mhm.
ethical, most agencies don't honor this and they give all kinds of
Yeah.
reasons why. And the cobbler's son has no shoes. Oh, too busy taking care of clients or anything. And then we should do
Yep.
it for you and then publish that as an example. And then the other folks using the proprietary CRM who are dog groomers, they can use our thing. We can turn it into a book, which I think is hilarious. I have the largest free ebook site on the internet too. I have 500,000 visitors a day coming to it organically on Google. Now that also helps
Really?
too. It's a domain ring. So we could do it, turn it into a book, put you as the figurehead, and you talk about your story. I bought, and
Mm.
I'm sure all of them can. They have their story, and I'm sure
Yeah.
their girls that drive around love what they're doing. It's not just like being a
Yeah.
cashier somewhere, right? There's a passion to it, right? Just like
Yeah.
in the
You
funeral home
have to.
industry, there's a passion. You want to be a
Yeah.
pastor, there's a passion. There's like a deeper, you can't just like love pets. Like that's not enough, right? So if we publish these SOPs and
Mhm.
whatnot, be an agency, if one of these girls or if there's another person, man or female, that can run that agency for you under your name, because there's no better agency lead than the customer itself, than someone who
Yeah.
actually is the thing, right? If you're a dentist, you should own the dental agency,
Yeah.
right? You should own it, use the figurehead, but we recommend, and we've done this in a number of industries now, you should have a young adult be in charge of that agency that serves other. But you should know enough. Like Gordon Ramsay
Yeah.
doesn't cook all the steaks, but Gordon Ramsay is the figurehead.
I got it.
Okay.
Right.
And I'm sure you've done enough dog grooming yourself, like you already know how to use the machines and all that. So
No, I don't. I've never groomed a dog in my life.
even better, because that's just like the franchising kind of thing. So then that gets turned into a book and all that kind of stuff to help those guys. Like not because we're trying to generate leads, but we want to actually help them so they understand. And maybe they're really small and so they can
Mhm.
take their marketing into their own hands. And then we say, this is how you set up Claude, or if you like Gemini or OpenAI or like whatever your favorite one is, just use that one.
Yeah.
But here's our SOPs, and that way your agent will learn from how we did it. Because if you don't give it this training and SOPs, it'll just like
Mhm.
do whatever from the internet, right? Which is not going to be happy with. And
Mhm.
then we can have an agency. So
Mhm.
you or us or Dallas has got a bunch of unemployed college kids, especially in
Yeah.
Plano, rich kids that don't want to go to college because, and I agree
Yeah.
with them. Yeah, I don't think college is the thing either, except for certain professions, right? And they can run your agency serving all of the mobile dog groomers.
Yeah. I thought about that. I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of opportunity out there to help a lot of dog groomers, but not
Yeah.
just that, just all my other SMBs, all my,
Well, I'm just saying
they're,
that is one. That's the easiest
yeah.
one because if you can show that you did it for yours, you start with the pet groomers, you can go into any other, I mean, you name it, any other local you can go into. I would recommend for the next year with high ticket local. So
Yeah.
You could move to veterinarians, you could move to chiropractors,
Yeah.
HVAC, plumbing, landscaping, roofing. Like those
Mhm.
are all high ticket.
Yep.
We've been able to make it work for restaurants,
Uh,
and we've tried it for like massage and nail salons and like the ones where the customer spends less than $100, but the math of it just makes it harder. But you want where the customer is spending, there's a lifetime value in the thousands.
And that's what there's these dog owners are spending on their dogs. I mean, I'm spending in that
Because it's like
$200 range every month just to have their dogs
yeah.
bathed all day
And
long.
and a certain homeowner,
Mm.
well, that's not a problem.
Continue to pay that.
Yeah.
It's
And those are the best
so,
kinds of customers. But the
yeah,
customer who shops at Walmart for the cheapest thing is not going to be a good customer for a
no.
service. They're going to
Mm-mm.
complain. I mean, all that stuff. That might
Interesting.
be a fun thing to do where
Yeah.
we dog food this out, demonstrate that we can do it. Ideally, you have a young adult that's in the DFW Metroplex that
Mhm.
can collect all this stuff. Maybe it's like when one of the girls isn't busy, or maybe
Mhm.
when they're out and about, or they're not like, I'm sure you have some sort of this proprietary CRM has some like scheduling tool or whatever to figure
Yeah,
out
it
how
does. Mm.
maybe when things aren't so busy and they can become the digital marketing person.
Well, I do
And
have
then
a
that
couple
turns into
people that could probably do that.
but someone
Actually,
who you trust, they do not have
yeah,
to be digital marketing people. But
yeah.
generally, I mean, I can't say this legally, but
Mhm.
we've tested this a lot in the last couple of years. And usually someone in their mid 20s is who's comfortable with tools tends to do best with this stuff. I'm an exception. I'm 51,
Yeah.
but I live and
Yeah,
breathe
it's
this.
hard to catch up. It really is, and I get that. I'd like to try something like this. What
Yeah.
would you recommend the next steps would be?
I think there I think there's two things to do along the way. I
Mm.
think the first one is we do what we call a power hour. I mean, the power hour, the way it looks like is it looks like a consulting block, but really
Yeah.
it's an implementation block. We want to implement the analysis that we came up with. If you and or a young adult that you select, be your operator, can participate with us as we do this,
I have a couple
then
people in mind.
and then the number one thing we're looking for is they have to be self-motivated.
Yeah.
If we have to chase them down, if they skip the Zoom calls, if they can't provide the regular updates, if because they're busy in school or because they were
Yeah.
sick or because like I don't have time for that. Like they have to be self-motivated. That's the number one thing. They do not have to know how to use Instagram or like I don't care. Right.
Right.
That's the number one, that's the make or break thing of all the things. You would think the other things would matter, but it's actually do they just show up and whatever.
Right.
You do the simple thing,
How
the daily report.
Yeah.
Can you do the daily report or not? It takes 3 minutes, right? Then that person can participate, and then provided that this pilot using your own Primped Pooches is successful,
Mhm.
we document everything, and we can show that we made the phone ring, and we can show we rank better in Google, and we can show the thing works. Then they can join, and maybe bring two of them in just to play.
Mhm.
One does better than the other, another one like whatever. It's always nice to have more than one. Then the one that does the best, they can join our program, our AI apprentice program, and then join all the
They
other
have an
people.
AI apprentice program.
There's a bunch of these folks, and you can read and watch videos of what they're doing and how they've grown their
Mhm.
businesses. And some of them have SaaS companies. They usually start with agencies, and then they turn into SaaS company owners. And there's a whole reason for why we like to do it that way, and see like what they do. And then we just recommend they start with an agency in
Mhm.
one vertical, not every local business,
Uh,
not any business in Dallas, but they start with just plumbers, or you start with
yeah.
just real estate agents, or like just the
Mhm.
one thing, because then they learn that one industry and that whole thing. And then I think the third step is I'm counting chickens early now, but provided these
Okay.
first two stages succeed, third stage is then you roll this into your network. And this is how you help this army of
Right.
SMBs. But if you jump straight to that, I feel like you don't have the proof. You can't
Yeah.
really help
No,
them
I
at
get it.
scale. There's tools that we build along the way. Plus, until you have an operating team, these could be all the best ideas in the world, but you need an operating team because it can't fall on you or me. And
And
so
you
the
think,
the litmus test, this analysis, which ironically the Bernadette, the AI produced, but I had to supervise the AI, so it wasn't like some random VA in the Philippines do this. And also to prove, did you watch the Zoom that I
I
made?
did.
What do you think?
There, you had some good points.
So then this is the whole thing, right? And there's stuff that needs to happen. And then we have SOPs on how to, like, if we have access to the website and PvP and over there, and you give us access to some folder that we can pull for Plano or
Mhm.
Frisco or whatever it is, and here's the names of the however many girls you have, and here's like proof of all that with
Yeah,
context. So it's not just photos because we need to have context. Then the tool can go to town, but the tool has to be supervised. Someone's got to walk the
yeah,
dog, right? Can't let the
yep, I get it.
AI be unleashed.
So one of the things I'm challenged with here is getting my groomers to take the pictures.
You have to
And
incentivize them. That's the only way. And then
you're right,
uh,
because I've asked and asked and I haven't been able to do it.
there's so many tools that are there in the whole review, incentivize your team to collect it. Like there's software that integrates that does
Yeah,
that. And this second component is if you have like a, because I know you're a service area business. If you have like a weekly team huddle or something like that, that's when you hand out the awards and you honor like, oh, well,
mm,
Jennifer got this and she gets a $20 Starbucks gift card or whatever it is. You have to make it part of your process with like an awards.
got it.
When you do that, then everyone loves to be that it's not about earning the extra $5 or $10 each time that the customer
Yeah,
says whatever. It's that most people are motivated by how they're
I,
treated
yeah,
and not that it doesn't
yeah,
matter if it's $5 or $20, but that's not the thing. It's feeling
yep,
appreciated and being
yeah,
honored. And so when you have it could be monthly or whenever you do it, you need to honor these people. And then you'll see the adoption. But the chicken and egg for you, Bernadette, is until you have some of them, you catch them in the act of doing these good things, and then you start honoring them. Until that positive feedback loop occurs, you merely nagging them to do it is not going to result in anything.
yeah. It's not working. I will
It's a
tell
super
you. It's
common issue, right? Read about
yeah,
it, ask ChatGPT about it, and you'll be like, yeah, Dennis is right. This is the main thing, and this is how you overcome the
yeah.
issue, just like Dennis said.
I got to do it. All right. Well, this has been really helpful.
So this is the people component. This is not a AI or magic words
Yeah,
to
yeah,
say your
yeah.
people kind of thing. This is where EQ of you and I as business owners counts.
All right. So what would be the next steps, I guess? First of all, I guess I got to identify someone. I have two
Yeah.
people in mind right now.
And you could have both of them participate with us as we
Mhm.
do the work. So those two people, as we execute and provide it, everything works, we hope. Because you never know until you actually see how they
Yeah.
behave and all that. So then this is our program. But let's start with this one so we can actually execute together as kind of
Is
a
it?
pilot. Then you want to turn that into an agency and you want to work on another mobile
Mhm.
groomer because I'm sure you got all these of all your friends that are mobile pet groomers. I'm sure you have one or two that are bigger businesses that are. I mean, ideally they have pets. It's easier. 200 plus
Yeah.
reviews for their main GMB, and they have a couple of these girls that are out there collecting photos and videos. Whether or not they're posting it to social media or whatever, but usually they do. That's why they collect them. If
Got
they
it.
have that and say they're doing at least 1 million a year would be ideal. Even if they're a franchise and they have multiple locations, that works great too. Then that young adult having gained experience by working on your DFW mobile
Mhm.
business, they can do it for that other one. And that would be the second stage. And then
I
all the
think I
Zoom
got
calls are recorded, so you don't have to attend. But what I do recommend is we have Bernadette, we have the AI come in and analyze what happened in each of our working Zoom calls. And then
uh-huh.
you can ask the AI, so I had these two girls that are involved. Can you just like tell me how I wasn't there, but tell me
How
who do
they
you think
do.
is doing the best and who participated in them? Like just tell me,
Mhm.
oh well, Jennifer did a better job than the other girl. Okay, good.
That's a, so that's pretty interesting how you've turned almost everything into these AI agents
I
and
treat them like humans. That's the key.
that's
Yeah.
the trick. Very
You can't
interesting.
treat it like tools. If you use it as tools, you're going to be
Yeah.
overwhelmed. You'll be swallowed by the tsunami because the tools will
Yeah,
beat.
I got
You
it.
cannot
All
beat them
right.
at their. You can't beat the thing at math or chess or what. I mean, it
Yeah.
has you beat.